You're welcome yet again to Transformed Life Conversations on Transformed Life Radio. My name is Tanderai, and I'm so excited to have Pastor Longwe yet again. Pastor Levson, you are welcome yet again to have a discussion with us.
Thank you. Once again, it's good to be here.
It's so fantastic.
It's an honor.
It's a very fantastic experience you give, and I just thought as you were going through and taking us through very important statistics. I think what you did is very challenging. It has provoked me, and I believe our viewers and our listeners are equally provoked, because when you get that kind of statistics, and you are thinking about how you stand before the Lord, and you say, in addition to all other things, you got this information, you knew that there are 3.2 billion people out there that, had no access to the gospel. I mean, I'm personally very much challenged. But before we, I say a lot of other things that I would like to know. Of course, I believe not so long into the future, we'll have time again to have further conversation. But I want us to talk about your work. Probably your missions mobilizer. Yes, you made us know that, but then give us more details in terms of how do you work? How can people engage you? How can people benefit from all this which you have appetized us on, if we are to get the full package of what you have, and maybe the skills in terms of how to organize ourselves to be able to respond to the need which you have highlighted through what you have communicated to us. Just take us on through that.
All right. So, as you've said, I'm a missions mobilizer. It's I would say it's a ministry which is relatively new, and many times we are misunderstood in the church, because they say, "Are you a missionary? Are you a pastor? Which category do you put you? Are you?" But the Ministry of Mobilization, the Ministry of Mobilization started with God Himself. When He created man in Genesis chapter 1:26, He mobilized them. He taught them. He blessed them and said, "Multiply, be fruitful." So in other ways, He was mobilizing them to fulfill the divine mandate. And so throughout the Bible, we had several people who did the work of mobilization. Moses was one of them. The prophets, Nehemiah, for example, one of them, mobilizing the Israelites to rebuild the walls of Jerusalem. You have people like Isaiah mobilizing the fallen nation of Israel to come back to God. Hosea, Zechariah in the minor prophets. John the Baptist himself mobilizing, telling people, "Hey, I'm preparing the way from the coming of the Lord." Christ Himself, the greatest example of a mobilizer, who Himself was a goer, who Himself was also a sender. So He came, die for mankind as a goer. He was, in quotes, cross-cultural missionary who came from heaven to earth, being a goer. But He was also a sender. John chapter 20, verse 21, "As my Father sent me, so send I you." He was also a mobilizer. You remember Luke chapter 10, verse 2. He says, "The harvest is plenty, but the laborers few. Pray." So he was mobilizing prayer.
Yeah.
Pray. So that's what, in a nutshell, that's what I do. I am a mobilizer. I blow the trumpet. I go in church and make people uncomfortable. That's my work. When I go in church and people are comfortable, I've not done my work. I go in church and make people uncomfortable about this work that we still have. We should not take these things for granted and relax and say, "Oh, now we have built a church, we have done this, we have arrived." No, there's more work that needs to be done. So I'm someone I'm part of a movement that is blowing a trumpet to the church, telling the church, "Hey, number one, discover your role in the Great Commission. What has God called you? not all of us will go to the mission field, but some will go, some will send, some will pray for those who are going. Some will welcome those who are coming to where we are now. So that's my work. I brought the trumpet in 3 levels. The first level is helping people discover their role in the Great Commission. That is the discovery phase. To discover that, just as we have talked right now, and even those that are listening, they might say, I think as for me, I'll be sending every month something to someone who is in the mission field. So they've discovered their role. Just as the Macedonian church were not really missionaries per se, but they stood with Paul. They sent help with Paul again and again. You see, Paul was a goer, and the Macedonian church in this context were the senders, even the Antioch church. So when you discover, you need to act. And then secondly, to develop at this level, that's where now, so on the discovery stage, we do trainings. There are several trainings, traditional trainings like Kairos course. You might have heard about Kairos course. There's one big one, Perspectives in Missions. It's a huge book. We have our own contextualized understanding world evangelization, where we really pull all this data out and just have a conversation, discuss, and then we pray. From there, also we move to developing. Now that you say, okay, as for me, I want to go. What is it that you need to do? You need to learn language. You need to develop your communication. Are you going there as mission, as business? Are you going there as tent-making missionary? Okay. In this case, we really work hand in hand with the church, because this is where also we develop your theology. Do you know Christ? Are you a born-again, Christ-centered? Do you have character? Because we don't want to send someone who would just womanize and make scandals there in the mission field. So at church level, that's where most of the development comes in, solidifying your biblical faith. But then apart from that, the third level is the sending or the deployment. So discovery, develop, and deploy. Deployment, that's where now issues like where exactly are you going, geographical, where are you going, how long are you going to stay there? This is where now the organization, the mission agency, takes the bigger role in logistics, making sure that the church has raised enough support for the upkeep of this individual, transportation, accommodation, what happens when he's sick, all that kind of stuff. So we're involved in all those levels. And also there is what is called prophetic mobilization and apostolic mobilization. Okay. So prophetic mobilization, not as what we know in these days as prophetic, but in the church, in the Bible, prophets were foretelling and foretelling, telling them, you have moved away from faith, go back, come back to God. So we do that through trainings and all that, telling the church, hey, we have moved away from the Great Commission. What he said was, go ye therefore. It means it's the Great Commission is missional. The Great Commission is incarnational. The Great Commission is purposeful. The Great Commission is not a decoration somewhere. It's missional. We need to go. And the apostolic mobilization is governance, putting structures. Okay, as a church, do you have a mission vision? How can we help you? Putting out a mission vision and a mission statement, a mission strategy. Okay, we want there's a church in Maseru here. They want to send 4 missionaries to South Asia by 2028. That falls under apostolic mobilization, helping the church put out structures. Who are these 4 individuals? how are they going to go there, that kind of stuff. Yeah, so that's what I do. We are invited by churches who would like to see their church moving from sitting back in the pews to getting engaged, going out in mostly 4 ways: going, sending, welcoming, praying, and mobilizing.
Wow. Wow. Now
Yes.
now tell me, so now yes, you've mentioned that you are invited by churches and so forth, but let's say that somebody is watching or is listening right now, and probably they are quite far from, because I know you are based in currently you are based in Maseru in Lesotho. Now,
Yes.
say somebody is not so far, probably somebody is in Botswana or in Northwest Province, South Africa, or in Mpumalanga, and they are watching us right now. Is there any
Yes.
way they can have access to some of those trainings? Do you have online trainings? Do you have any programs or any material available, like on the internet that somebody could follow that is presented in a systematic way, like a training package?
All right. So firstly, if anyone, I'm not sure if you can share my contact with them, if they can go through you. They, on top of my head, what comes is a Kairos course. Kairos course is really a systematic training that deals with the discovering your mission, discovering missions, cross-cultural missions, all this unreached and all that, the statistics. So it's online. It's offered by Simply Mobilizing.
All right.
It's online. So different countries like South Africa, they have different organizations that offer the same on online. So different organizations. But if one can go to simplymobilizing.org, then he can have the information to when the next training is, where the next training is, even online, it's there. But I like referring people to a website called Joshua Project.
Joshua Project.
So Joshua Project. So Joshua Project, that's I would say a one-stop platform for all missionaries, would-be missionaries, church leaders, pastors, because they have up-to-date statistics on global trends, Christianity, and all the unreached. Where are they? How many are they? How can you engage them? How can you pray for them? And they have so much more information on them. Joshua Project that
All right.
org.
All right, thank you. Yeah, I know something else, Pastor Long. I trust I'm not taking you off guard. You mentioned something about your sending church that supports you on the mission field. Now, I just want to know, just in case some of our listeners or viewers could be touched by what you have communicated, the work you are doing, and if they consider to partner with you or with your sending organization, can you just briefly give a guidance into, okay, first of all, do you accept partners from outside the scope of your denomination? Number one. Number two, if they are the any who are willing to do so, how do they go about it in an appropriate way?
Okay. No, it's I don't think anyone with a brain and a heart can refuse a partnership from outside. And partnership here means a lot. It means you are not just giving, you are also praying. You're also offering a moral support. It can be hard out here. Cross-cultural work is, you can attest to that. Cross-cultural work is not easy. So having people who can, I call them people who hold the rope while you are down on the pit there. So they're holding the rope with you. They still feel the pain of holding the rope, just as you feel the pain of saving down there. You both feel the pain. You both sacrifice. So I serve with the Africa Inland Missions, AIM. So they can contact they can contact you, I think. but the email by the website they can go to is aimsouthernafrica.org, and then when they go there, there is a profile there with, if they want to donate, there's somewhere where they want, if you want to donate to an individual, you just tap the button there, and then the whole list of, you can even click my name there, Pastor Longwe, and then I have about there what I'm doing here in Lesotho and how you can send money, the bank accounts and all the platforms there. It's all there. Sure.
All right. Can you repeat again the website? Is it one word? AIM? Is it one word?
Yes, AIM.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so AIM Southern Region.
Mm.
Now let me take that again. AIM.org. www.oim.org. When they go to that website, it's an international, and then they go to they search for Southern Region.
Oh, all right.
Because that's where I am based. So it's an African-based organization. So there's Northern Region, Eastern Region, Western Region, and then Southern Region.
Oh,
so Southern Region is where I am based.
Oh, all right. No, thank you so much, Pastor Longwe. This has been very, very great. And like I said, I think in the near future, we'll also have more time to talk, probably more on we've given us the history and the statistics, and of course, the brief profile of the work that you do. But I think we have time where probably you could be able to bring some excerpts of your presentations, what you train, what you teach during your training programs. Otherwise, thank you so much for taking your time to be a great blessing. And I truly appreciate it. I don't know if you've got any final words before we say goodbye to our listeners and viewers.
No, thank you for having me. I appreciate greatly to have this kind of conversation. You have done a great job. May God bless you, and may God bless the viewers and listeners, those who want to support us, stand with us. May God bless you as we make that decision. Sure.
Thank you so much. That was Pastor Longwe. We're looking forward to have him, and I look forward to hear you supporting him. Otherwise, thank you so much for making time to be with us on Transformed Life Conversations.